In this episode, we are going to understand fast fashion versus Indian heritage fashion. What happened? What went wrong? Because since the time fast fashion has come, has India forgotten to reuse?
Here, I would say that the mass media and cinema plays a big role. People started thinking, "नए कपड़े हमेशा चाहिए." This is what fast fashion is, right? You stop repeating. There is a movie called Nadiya Ke Paar. You will see that in the cinema, all forms of beautiful textiles and crafts have been used.
That's the identity of India. My question to you is, because of this, there is deficit in knowledge. What can be done?
The celebrities have a lot to do with this.
How can India not know how to wear or how to drape sarees?
Because the sari is an originally Bharatiya garment. I also do not understand the concepts of pre-stitched, pre-draped sarees.
So very quickly on some styling hacks, I have a few questions, Sharmi, for you. If you had to turn a cotton saree into a modern day power outfit, how would you style it?
You have Kangana Ranaut. She just knows what to wear in a mandir, in the airport, at events.
One fashion trend you wish would disappear forever. If you could steal one celebrity's wardrobe, whose would that be?
If it's from the 60s, it would be either. If it's today, then I think, because I think she wears gorgeous handloom.
Hello everyone and welcome to Voice of MOSAIC, a show where we are celebrating sustainability. In today's episode, we are celebrating India's rich and diverse heritage, which is in its textiles and handlooms. Handlooms and textiles of India, whether it is the Jamdani of Bengal, or it is Patola of Gujarat, or it is Banarsi silks of Varanasi, they all have a unique story to tell. Some tell a story of folklore, some reflect religious and mythological symbolism, and some weaves just celebrate India and its people. Our rich heritage, which lies in fashion, whether it is weaves, its patterns, its prints, its textures, are something to cherish and celebrate. This is a legacy to preserve and to be passed on. But here we are in a conflict. Indian fashion heritage is competing against fast fashion. Fast fashion, which has evolved in the past 4 decades, it has invaded our markets, it has invaded our homes, our lifestyles, even our traditions and festivals. And what it has done is it has changed our mindsets, the way we are looking at fashion and consuming fashion. Why is Indian heritage fashion taking this huge hit? And other than just the environment, which is, degrading, even textiles and handlooms have a huge price that they are paying. To understand this better, on our show is Sharmi Adhikary, who is a seasoned lifestyle journalist and a columnist. She is based in Delhi with an extensive career spanning over 2 decades. She has a keen eye for cinema, for travel, for culture and stories. Whatever she writes sparks meaningful conversations and offers fresh perspectives. Let us welcome Sharmi Adhikari on today's show, Voice of MOSAIC. Hi Sharmi, how are you?
Thank you, Sonali, for making me part of this conversation. I'm really excited to talk about the subject, which is so close to my heart, because I am an ardent lover of textiles and embroideries and crafts that India is so famous for, and that India has been celebrated for. So
Absolutely.
Yes.
And no better person, because you also have a social media following, and I see that you have a page where you endorse Indian heritage fashion and textiles, and what you
Yes.
write and the kind of comments people engage with, so they are all for Indian heritage and fashion. And in this episode we are going to understand more of fast fashion versus Indian heritage fashion. So if you could just begin with the for our audience, who you are, a little bit on yourself and your journey.
So, Sonali, I started with news reporting. I was an education reporter, but my heart always was towards lifestyle, and eventually I started writing on art, design, lifestyle, culture, travel, food. Recently, and I'm an ardent cinema watcher. I am into sarees. There have been times when I walked into fashion weeks where everybody was in westerns, when I was wearing my saree. And I've had designers coming up and telling me that this is quite a bold decision, means you're just standing out. I said, exactly, this is what Indian textiles and Indian embroideries and Indian crafts is all about. We stand out. Absolutely. Because we are special. I have always loved the beautiful things that India creates, Indian artisans creates, Indian weavers create, and my writings always try to bring out that aspect. In the noise of fast fashion, or in the noise of mediocrity, or in the noise of mass commercialization, I think what we have as heirloom textiles or heirloom crafts in our country, nothing can compete against that. The West has, if we go back into our history of textiles and crafts, and how our crafts have been has traveled to the West, you will see a lot of exhibits at Victoria Albert Museum showing block printed fabrics. Okay. Then there are fabrics that have very, very intricate ari work. So all these embroideries. See, India is a land where intricacy has always been a major part of our art. Absolutely. Look at our temple architecture, our ancient temples. Look at our jewelry. Look at our weaves. We have always had very intricate art forms.
Yes, very elaborate.
Very elaborate and very intricate. The finesse of it, the fingers were always doing magic.
And so very labor intensive.
Very labor intensive. People were investing a lot of man hours.
Yes.
So my point is to actually tell my audience that, you have to cherish that.
Yes.
You have to respect that. And you can only respect that once you start using that. You cannot stand from afar and say, oh, it's nice. Because any kind of art needs patronage.
True.
Our rulers, our kings, our queens used to patron, they were patrons of these beautiful art forms, and hence they thrived over the years.
Yes.
If we as citizens of India do not respect that, and we don't become patrons, then all these things will die down. So my writings actually try to engage the audience into discussing these aspects, because a lot of people think, it's old and it's heritage and it's heirloom stuff, so it's expensive. Of course, a little. You have to pay for the man hours put, for the labor put, for the patience put. If you can buy so many outfits from a Western fast fashion label, then you can save up the money and buy one beautiful textile weave or craft that will, that you can pass on to your next generation as heirloom.
Yes. More on this later, but to begin with, my first question is that, like we have already discussed, that India is a treasure trove, whether you talk about textiles and, handlooms, and there's so much, not only in sarees, but in shawls, in dupattas, and other handlooms.
Yes.
What happened? What went wrong? Because since the time fast fashion has come, has India forgotten to reuse, repair, like how we used to traditionally do, repair the old clothes?
Yeah.
Or if there are classic pieces, they were passed on to the daughters or the sons in the family. And now fast fashion has come and taken a certain permanence, but a lot of accountability lies in the consumer's side. So,
Sonali, here I would say that the mass media and cinema plays a big role.
Okay.
If you were we have grown up seeing that how a sari, you wear it, and once it becomes a little old, it was repurposed into maybe a blanket or a pillow cover or curtains. We as a civilization has always repurposed stuff. Even मिल्क पाउडर का जो डिब्बा होता था उसको हम रिपर्पस करके डाल रखते थे ना,
बिल्कुल.
हर चीज में, मतलब ओल्ड साड़ीज इन बंगाल, old cotton sarees, tat sarees or Tangail sarees, when they become really soft after wearing it innumerable times, they used to be cut up and stitched with katha, making sheets for babies,
Yes.
because babies need soft blankets and soft cloth. So this repurposing has been part of our civilization. We've had Kanjivaram saris being cut up and made into, that dress, the top and the ghagra,
Yes.
for little girls in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
So I think this whole concept started shifting. Earlier cinema also showed that how this was happening, or Dadi ki sari, shadi was happening where the girl was saying, मैं ना अपनी माँ की साड़ी पहनूंगी, या मतलब किसी फंक्शन में, शादी में दुपट्टा उसने अच्छे तरह से लपेटा है.
So you saying that it's in the storytelling or all aspects of cinema?
All aspects, like, see, I'll tell you, there is a movie called Nadiya Ke Paar by Rajeshri. You will see that in the cinema, all forms of beautiful textiles and crafts have been used. And it's not just that they wear it once.
Okay.
So the bahu who gets wed, she wears these very nice printed saris in the house, and she repeats them. So the cinema is showing that she's repeating her clothes.
Yes.
A nice Banarasi sari she's wearing at one of her weddings, and then she's again wearing it for Diwali.
In the same movie.
In the same movie.
How
A
fantastic.
Kora silk Banarasi. Her mother wears a Banarasi sari when the elder daughter is getting married, and she also repeats it when the younger daughter is getting married. So this repeat, this repurposing, it's all there. It's part of our society, and cinema was showing that. In Satranj Ke Khiladi, you have Shabana Azmi wearing her silk outfit innumerable times, because it was part of our lifestyle, our conversations. We were not the ones who used to wear once and throw it away or keep it.
Or needed new looks that frequently.
I think this thing shifted in cinema also. Somewhere in the mid 90s or somewhere in the, I don't know, early 2000, cinema started focusing too much on stylized looks, where stylists were gotten, and heroines never were shown wearing the same outfit for 2 scenes.
Oh.
So people started thinking, नए कपड़े हमेशा चाहिए. This is what fast fashion is, right? You stop repeating, you stop repurposing, you just wear the sari once and you feel everybody has seen it, I can't wear it again. This whole thing about validation, that somebody has to see me and say that अच्छा नई साड़ी ली है.
Yes.
Why can't I be confident and say नहीं ये पुरानी साड़ी है, बस मैंने अच्छे से इसको different तरह से पहना है. That is what repurposing is, right? Like, I wore this sari. This sari, it's a Bishnupuri Katan silk.
It's a beautiful sari.
Thank you. And it has batik done on it, but the batik has been inspired by the Leheriya of Rajasthan.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. So first time I wore it with a baroque pearl necklace and pearls. Today I thought, let me tone it down. I'll just wear a pair of hoops and a watch. That's it. So, my friends keep saying, you have so many saris. I say that, okay, maybe I have a sizable collection, but it's not that I have so many saris, because I'm always repeating my clothes. I accessorize them. I dress them up sometimes. I dress them down sometimes.
All right.
So the whole concept of playing with your wardrobe has vanished, I feel. And with that, like, if I am investing a sizable amount of money in buying a Patan Patola,
Yes.
why won't I wear it again?
Absolutely.
This thing needs to come back into our consciousness, where people must cherish what they buy and keep wearing them. Because earlier our ancestors used to do that.
It's very unhealthy on ourselves.
Yes.
And also, it's very unethical because not every time you can have a new look. And then, even when you want a certain sizable collection with saris, then I think there also maybe fast fashion you're applying, because then you're going for cheaper options in saris.
Exactly, and that is what is happening. People have stopped saving up and buying one beautiful sari, beautiful as in a rich weave or a rich craft, and they are like, ये बहुत expensive है, ये सस्ता वाला ले लेती हूँ, एक बार ही तो पहनना है. You see how the mindset is working. एक बार ही तो पहनना है. It has to be an insta-worthy sari, it's insta-worthy look. So they will post on Instagram and they will forget about it. I know women who are in something different every single day.
India has become victim to disposability. Because,
exactly, and it is creating a lot of pressure on the environment. You are hoarding. Why do you have to buy so much? Say, you're buying a sari for 1,000. 1,000 mein, if you buy a sari, how you obviously will feel like, अरे ये शादी में नहीं पहन सकता, because obviously it won't be of that quality. I will say that instead of buying 5 saris for 1,000, you spend 5,000, buy a nice chanderi.
So you're saying invest in one good sari.
Yes. Buy less, but buy good, is my point. If you buy good, it will last you. And it will evolve with you. A chanderi sari, like say if a girl wears it to her class 10 farewell.
Okay.
She will style it and her mother will help her style it.
Yes.
When she wears it in a college, it will be a little different. Then when she wears it, when she's out, when she's newly married, she will look completely different. As she ages with that, the chanderi will also grow with her.
Yes.
That is what the younger generation needs to understand, that these are outfits. A sari is an outfit that evolves with you.
So means with every wearing, there is a story that is getting attached to it.
And that is the story that, earlier ऐसा होता था, ये ना मेरी माँ की साड़ी है, मेरी माँ ना इसको ऐसे पहनती थी. Let me see if I can recreate that. Or will I give my own special touch to that sari? This is our story.
Yes.
This is the storytelling in our textiles.
Grown up doing the same.
Yes, absolutely.
There's so many questions to ask you, but one by one, this is a very interesting conversation, which is fashion, very important because the audiences that are watching and are going to watch will take some strong takeaways from this and apply in their lives, make it more sustainable. Talking about fashion, do you think, and I want your perspective on this, that is India going through a certain idea where they feel that, whether it is the weaves or our patterns, the bold prints, the vibrant colors, it's all around us. That's the identity of India.
Yeah.
That's what makes India so incredible.
Yeah.
Is it a reason that because of it they feel the exclusivity of that has diminished because it is readily available, if not in terms of a sari, but culturally around us, that the generations have, lost and are not really endorsing it so much, while the West is, opening doors and runways to Indian craftsmen, and it is celebrated so much more there. I feel this, and my question to you is, because of this, there is a deficit in knowledge. There is only a certain textiles and handlooms we all know. What can be done, because there are so many more and regional and sub-regional arts in terms of textiles?
I think the celebrities have a lot to do with this.
Okay.
India has always been a land of colors, of crafts, of weaves, of every state has a beautiful culture. In our weddings, we have seen how brides dress up in their indigenous look.
Yes.
That fosters, people are, so a Maharashtrian bride will invest in a paitani.
Yes.
A Banaras ki bride will invest in a Banarasi. Even in Bengal, we wore the Banarasi. Then in Punjab, there's the Fulkari. But there is a homogenization.
Okay.
So youngsters are moving towards a look that has been created of, this is the Indian look. So, and this has come through cinema.
So they have a false idea of an Indian look.
Yeah. So this is the Indian look. इसमें ये है, ये color है, ये ऐसा होगा, and this is roughly, this is going
Mostly
to be like
neutrals.
this. Yeah. So let us shift towards, I feel they are now looking westward. Because there's this colonial hangover also, that whatever the West tells us must be right. They are not looking around themselves that this has been there. So the West is also playing that up. Everything has been here. The West is very clever to take it from us, repackage it, and then sell it back to us. Sadly, a lot of people are biting that bait. I wouldn't like to believe that they don't like the Indian thing. I just think that they are being misled. Look at how the celebrities dress now. Everything is very Western, right?
And I think they all look the same.
They
Because
all
they're wearing
look
the same designers.
Yes, absolutely. And so the youngsters are getting influenced by the celebrities. So they think that because they are wearing this, we also have to wear this. They are not looking around them
Yes.
to see that there are better products. There are better stuff that we can wear. They don't want to look inwards. There's no introspection happening. Why do I have to look at somebody's sari drape and feel that this is how I must wear my sari?
Yes.
Why am I not looking at my mother, my grandmother, who have worn saris for generations?
Yes.
And they've worn it so beautifully.
Talking about this, how can India not know how to wear or how to drape saris?
Because the sari is an originally Bharatiya garment.
Yes.
It's a garment of Bharat. I also do not understand the concepts of stitched, pre-stitched, pre-draped saris. People say it's for convenience, but we have had women wearing saris and going to work in offices. They have worn saris in boardrooms. They have worn saris while cycling to the karkhanas.
Yes.
They have worn saris and worked on fields. They have worn saris and
even in the homes, in the kitchens.
homes.
Yeah.
So even they were not superhumans.
Yeah.
They were humans. So why is there this fear ki the sari is a little cumbersome? I've seen celebrities who have worn saris in films and danced around trees, calling up drape artists to drape their saris on weddings.
Yes. And
I find it a little comical that such a basic art form or skill that is quintessentially Indian, it suddenly has become so cumbersome for a lot of people. Why is it? We have to ask these questions. Earlier, I have seen videos where celebrities used to come in saris, in beautiful textile saris and beautiful hand embroidered saris and looking gorgeous in award functions.
yes, there was a time. Yeah.
I don't see celebrities doing that now.
And there's so much India has, and you can take, from any state and just wear that drape.
Deepika
too.
Padukone, Kiara Advani, and all your Ananya Pandays, and everybody is in gowns these days at award functions. What is the message we are giving out? That is not essentially our outfit.
Yeah.
Even at Cannes, I have seen Smita Patil and Shobana Azmi wear in a Patan Patola and in a Kanjivaram with Shyam Benegal. It's an old picture. So we had these women wearing the sari and championing this outfit in France, right? So why do we get so excited when celebrities now are in these gowns and
it's really important, and that's why we want to bring the impetus, is that just because a certain celebrity is wearing a certain gown, if that was differently done, in a beautiful traditional weave, this is how the influence of the society will happen.
And this is where the sustainability discussion comes in. Can you wear that gown again?
No.
But you can wear the sari again. You wear that gown once, maybe at some cocktail function or maybe a fancy award show that you yourself are going in, and you can't wear that again.
Sharmi, talking about celebrities and fashion, a lot in the West, the international actors, they would repeat the gowns. And we have a few of them known for it, famous for the right reasons, that they repeat the gowns. But in India, I do not know if I can put, even 5 names
Yeah.
of celebrities who do that.
Because
And
they are
why?
so scared. They are so scared. Means it's also, it's also this whole commercialization of fashion, I believe. You are so low on confidence that you'll be able to make a mark wearing the same outfit again, that you do not give it a chance.
Right.
It comes from this its lack of self-confidence. It comes from this need for validation. Everything has become visual. A sari is also visual, I agree. But you can play around with the visuals beautifully.
Yes. Yeah.
When we go to visit a temple, an old temple, and we see it, and first time we take in the beauty, we are awed by the whole structure. Then we want to visit it again because we want to probe the the intricacy of the design, the sculptures. Similarly, here, like when I wear a sari once, it's like, okay, it's a new sari, I'm wearing it. Then second time, I'm like, okay, so I want to play around with this look of the sari, so I'll accessorize it this
Yes.
way. But our celebrities, I believe, they just want that Insta-worthy moment, wearing a certain outfit.
So it's so tragic because the celebrities also should play a certain accountability. There's so many millions of people watching them.
They should play the biggest role. They play the
Yes,
biggest role.
yes.
They have so much of power to influence the masses. All the youngsters are following them
And
too.
no better way to promote all our textiles and
Absolutely.
regional, sub-regional, indigenous through a
Absolutely.
celebrity. They should,
Absolutely.
when they have everything available, for them. So why not the beautiful weaves and textiles?
Absolutely.
We'll come back to more questions, longer ones, but very quickly on some styling hacks. I have a few questions, Sharmi, for you. So, a few questions on styling is, if you had to turn a cotton sari into a modern day power outfit, how would you style it?
Boots, belt, a nice jazzy belt.
Okay.
Really nice watch, and nice updo with the hair, and a really smartly cut blouse.
Okay.
Blouse is very important when it comes to saris. A bad fitting, an ill-fitting blouse ruins the entire look.
Amazing. So, we can do multiple styles.
Yes, you have Kangana Ranaut giving
Yes.
a power look to
Absolutely.
the cotton
I love
sari.
all her
right?
outfits to Parliament.
She's amazing. Like she just knows what to wear in a mandir, in the airport, at events. So I think she's one woman that youngsters should take a look at.
For her, fashion is like done always right, I would
Yeah.
say. Great. My next question is, which traditional sari can one wear for a beach wedding without making it look too heavy?
A silk chiffon, a hand embroidered silk chiffon. For hand embroidery, you can go with Zarika Kam, that is old style Zardozi, or you
Okay.
can do Kamdani, that is Mukesh, Fardi. Then you can do Ektar chicken curry with Mukesh work. So there's that subtle bling, which will give that little glitter, glamour. And also the silk chiffon falls really well on the Indian body type. People think that silk chiffons are see-through, so they'll cling and all. But if the density is good of the silk
Okay.
chiffon, it falls really well. They can also do georgette. But personally, I love silk chiffons.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. Gota Patti is often seen as a traditional sari. How would you give it a Gen Z makeover?
So Gotapati originally, the craft was developed when our Indian kings, they wanted to give our bhagwans that costume.
Okay.
So Gotapati was done with real silver. The hand beaten, then it was hand beaten, those ribbons, and then it was stitched onto the garment. Okay. So, and it was it was for our bhagwans. The costumes was for the bhagwans because भगवान के लिए सबसे सुंदर outfit banana. So that then came onto the sarees, and it gave it a very traditional and a very traditional and rich look.
Okay.
So that is a craft of Gotapati. So it's now on sarees, it's now on suits and all. But I believe if you do Gotapati on a really well cut skirt or a jacket.
Oh wow, never thought of it.
Yeah, or maybe you're just wearing a simple monochrome outfit, but you have a Gotapati bag, like a nice sling bag, or a clutch, or you can have a Gotapati cord set.
Yes.
Really well fitted. It would look really amazing. Right?
Oh, I love that answer. Okay, very quickly, if you could transform a kantha stitched sari into a completely different outfit, what would you do?
A cape, because, and I'm talking about Nokshi Katha. Nokshi Katha is the absolutely filled jal work that artisans do, and not the barely there katha that gets sold nowadays as katha. It's sad, that's how deterioration has happened in the craft. But Nokshi Katha is the full jal. So you do a cape, or you can do a nice skirt with a white shirt. So it's that contrast, and you can wear it with boots.
Absolutely.
Or you can do a quad set, which is, you can have these really nicely fitted pants with a jacket and with just a very statement neck piece and minimal makeup, and
you don't need makeup with such an amazing
you don't.
look.
You can just play around with the crafts so beautifully, and they look really amazing.
Great. Okay. Moving on to the next one. What accessories can one pair with a linen sari to give it an edge? Linen saris are very popular these days.
Yeah.
Especially, in the work culture.
Yes, because they're very breezy, and they give this very crisp look.
Yes.
So maybe a nice watch, really statement watch that it's no nonsense. A nice pair of dangler earrings, which is not bling bling, but gives, because I feel a linen sari is a very no nonsense kind of sari. You make that you want people to take you seriously.
They're bold.
Yeah. And again, you can pair it with a nice belt and comfortable shoes, a nice pair of pumps, or in the winters you can do boots. You can wear nice jackets with your linen saris, or because sometimes linens are monochromes, so you can do a nice scarf thing. So,
I love that answer. I'm going to try a few styling tips that you've given me.
The sari is that. It's so versatile. You can play around with the look so much.
Okay, so what's your hack for making a heavily embroidered sari feel light and easy to wear for long hours?
Tie your hair.
Okay.
Because you don't want to manage your hair when you are already managing that heavy sari.
Okay.
Wear a comfortable blouse that you don't have to pull and tug. And wear jewelry that is not taking away from the sari. You don't want to wear jewelry that is, getting stuck on your sari, and you have to be very sure of the jewelry that manages itself. And also comfortable shoes.
Yes, very important.
Very comfortable shoes, because I won't say that a heavy sari takes away your energy or attention, but once you coordinate, you'll just find yourself enjoying the sari more.
Not so typical response, but I was thinking maybe you would say, just put together your sari nicely and maybe an extra pair of safety pins. But yeah, you are totally focusing on the hair, which I never thought of.
This is what drape artists are doing these days. They're making the sari look and sound so intimidating.
Yes.
Sari is not intimidating. If you practice, your underskirt is absolutely enough to hold that sari. Yes, of course, means if you want the sari going in a certain way, you pin that up like the Bengali drape. You need a few extra pins, but otherwise, like हमारा सीधा पल्लू जो है, वो तो we tug it like that so that it stays in place, right? So in Bengal earlier, women never used to wear blouses also. घर में my grandmother, the way she used to wear sari, she didn't need any pins.
Wow.
But the sari stayed in its place.
Yes.
Why are we making the sari feel and sound so intimidating? It's not. It will stay.
Okay. All of the questions are very gender specific and only on saris. So it's not really fair. Why should women have all the fun? So something for men. If men in the family have to pack a suitcase for a wedding, so what would you advise?
Take a sari that you can wear. Take a sari that you can wear like a dhoti.
For men?
Yes,
okay.
Dhoti looks absolutely sexy. And or take a dupatta that you can wear like that throw over your kurta. There's so much happening in Indian textiles and weaves that even our men used to wear really amazing brocades and silks. And why have we stopped that? Why has it become just shirt and pant and coats? And you can do so much. You can take an old sari of your mom and upcycle it into a nice kurta.
Okay.
You can upcycle it to a nice fun shirt.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
yes.
you can do ajrak jackets.
Yes.
You can do like in Kerala they wear the mundu. You can
try that. Yeah, be different.
Yeah, yes. You can do the veshti, nice, colorful, and just wear a monochromatic.
This is so interesting and important because the usual talk is that not much attention is paid to men because the world is black and white and all the attention is on women, which is kind of shifting. Men are also paying a lot of attention on their image, on grooming, on their styling.
I was speaking to Suket Thir, who is this brilliant designer.
Okay.
And he plays around with a lot of folklore and old crafts in his menswear as well as women's wear. So he was saying that it's so men are going through their peacock phase.
Okay.
So a peacock, it kind of flaunts its feathers to attract the women. So, and they love being the colorful one. So men, I feel now, are in that stage when the market and the market of weaves and crafts are giving them that option to play around with their looks. It doesn't have to be just a simple, shirt pant or jeans and t-shirt. I'm done with.
Absolutely. Even we want men to just dress up. And
can you imagine? It would look so funky if young boys dress up in nice jackets and short kurtas and dhoti and walk into a college.
Yes.
They would be making a statement. It wouldn't be about the girls only then.
That's really cool.
That is basically marrying the traditional and the contemporary. So even girls will get that incentive ki, oh my god, he's looking so amazing. I should also wear something that marries the traditional and the contemporary.
Then we'll have serious competition.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, these styling tips were really fun and I'm going to really use them. Next, moving on to some very quick questions. So like the fun fast five for you.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Super. You seem like all ready. One fashion trend you wish would disappear forever.
Get ready with me on social media. It needs to just go.
Okay. All right. If you could steal one celebrity's wardrobe, whose would that be?
I'll take two choices. If it's from the 60s, it would be either Asha Parekh or Sadhna.
Okay.
And if it's today, then I think Neeta Ambani, because I think she wears gorgeous handloom and gorgeous
Yes.
hand embroidered sarees.
Yeah, I think we should give the credit to her. She really celebrates
She's
it.
done a lot to bring the focus back
Absolutely,
on that.
much needed.
Yeah.
A big clap for her. One Indian textile everyone should have in their wardrobe.
Oh my God. So, I personally, I don't know, one textile, there's every state has, that.
There's so much.
There's so much, it's so difficult to choose. Like, I might love a Kanjivaram.
Okay.
I might love a Banarasi. I might love a Molakal Muru, which is a Karnataka weave, and it's beautiful. I might love a Patan Patola. I might love a Jamdani. So it's so difficult to choose.
Yes.
And that is the beauty.
That's the
of
beauty of
Bharat.
India, and this is what we're
you
celebrating. How
have
can we
a
pick one?
Moirang a silk Moirang fee from Manipur, which is similar to a Jamdani, but like the weave is such that it would look like you're wearing it reverse, but you're not. That is the beauty. That is the signature of a Moirang fee.
Wow. For me, I'm asking the question to myself.
Yeah.
Would be kalamkari, because there's beautiful storytelling.
Yeah,
on the
so
fabrics.
kalamkari is a craft.
Yeah, it's a craft.
It's and it used to be called Vrathapani in ancient times before the Islamic invaders came, and it became kalamkari. So the kari is the word that so it's come from after the invaders came in, because see, kashida kari, kalam kari, chicken kari, so that is a uniform kari. So haath se kiya hua kaam.
Oh.
But Vrathapani came from where? Vrathapani is the old stories that used to go up on the walls. Painters used to paint these lores of gods and goddesses in our temples.
Yes.
So that was a wall art, and slowly it descended down to the sari. To wearable, so that is why we call it wearable art.
Wearable art.
Yeah,
It's
and you
beautiful.
can do it on organza, you can do it on you can do it on Bishnupuri silk, you can do it on Murshidabad silk, you can do it on tussar, you can do it on all kinds of fabrics. So that's the beauty of the versatility of it. And no two sarees will be same, because it's done by hand.
Yes.
Sad part is, because people don't want to pay for that craft, cheap prints are coming out, and they are being sold as kalamkari.
Yes.
Printed versions are coming out, and
Digital
it's very easy to differentiate between what is original and what is a digital, what is a printed machine made one. But the awareness is such that people feel that, let's just buy it almost looks the same. They don't want to invest in the real one. So the artisans also take a hit.
One way to spot the difference is the smell. It has the milk odor.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm a
also
huge
it's
fan.
muted. The colors, the natural dye is a little muted.
Yes, it won't be that rich.
Yeah.
Okay, one word for embroidered sneakers. Are you for them?
Yes, I am for them. I think it's a fun way of introducing the art of hand done embroidery to youngsters. You can wear them with saris, you can wear it with your pants, you
With
can wear them with
lehengas,
skirts,
yes.
and they look so funky and cool.
And I think it's high time. We need some comfortable
Yes, of
jutis
course,
and
of course,
sneakers.
of course.
I'm also for them.
Yeah.
All right. Name 5 Indian movies that showcase the grandeur of Indian textiles and artisanship.
Nadia ke paar, Shatranj ke khilari. Oh my God. Waqt, Yash Chopra's Waqt, because Bhanu Athaiya's chiffons, embroidered chiffons were ethereal. Amrapali. Amrapali had some of the most beautiful outfits that Bhanu Athaiya made for Vaijayanti Mala. It had chikankari, it had brocades, it had zardozi, it had those royal costumes that Sunil Dutt was wearing. And I had thought about a fifth.
Mughal-e-Azam, Umrao Jan.
Not Mughal-e-Azam, but Pakiza.
Pakiza.
Pakiza, because Pakiza, Meena Kumari had done her own costumes. Imagine the talent in that woman. I mean, she was dancing, she was acting, she was emoting, and she was thinking about the costume. So we have women who actually has given us so much of the research that we can get into and understand the beauty of Indian crafts and weaves. Satyajit Ray's costume designer was his wife. She was the one doing the costumes for his films. So imagine what was going through in the mind of that lady.
I think some of the recent designers, I don't want to mention, won't be fair to take their names, need a masterclass on Indian textiles and artisanship.
Yes.
Because they can just bring in all the silhouettes that they are, producing
Yes,
and working on.
use them. Like I was so disappointed to see what the costumes in Gangubai Kathiawadi, I think.
Yes.
So
Sanjana
while they were
Gonzalez.
talking about, while they were projecting them as chicken curry, they were machine done. That was machine done work. So the masses who are seeing that film identifies that as chicken curry and goes and asks for that in the market. So the real chicken curry takes a hit.
Yes.
It's a GI tagged art.
Yeah.
It's a GI tagged embroidery. So films play a big role. They do play a big role, because it is influencing an audience that is huge.
And that's a silver screen. That's a mainstream media where
Exactly.
through which everything is getting
in
channeled.
In the 60s and the 70s, like my aunt and all, they were taking pictures from magazines, film magazines, that were showing all these pictures of Asha Parekh and Sadhna and Saira Banu, and taking them to tailors ki aisa chahiye. So what will our youngsters take to their tailors today? Like if we kind of correlate that, I think we get an answer.
Fantastic. You are this, what do you say, knowledge warehouse, a genius on,
I have still so much to learn. So,
No, I mean, I'm like very intrigued and I want to go back and learn more and read more because this is our legacy, this is our
sometimes
heritage.
I watch films, old films, because of that.
Yes.
Because of this very reason. Like in Sahib Bibi or Ghulam, when Bhanu Adhaya created one of the looks for Meena Kumari, where she wears in that song Piya Aisa Jiya Mein, Meena Kumari said, a jamdani would be so difficult to carry because it's this voluminous and it's a little starchy. So she made a sari where you had those jamdani motifs, but the fabric was very soft, so that she could move around. So she got a karigar to embroider those motifs into the fabric.
Right.
So it looks jamdani, Dhakai jamdani, but it's not. So there's so many stories to unravel in the world of cinema.
Absolutely.
But what are the stories we're unraveling today from cinema is the question. That is why I think somewhere I did not like the series Hira Mandi, but I liked what they were wearing.
Done with the fashion, yes.
I liked it because I thought it looked really nice. I really liked what Anju Modi created in Bajirao Mastani
Yes.
and in Ramlila, right? Yeah. Because they were showcasing
Very
our
ethnic.
rich
Looks.
crafts, our rich weaves. So it's not that our designers today don't know, they do know, but some of them take the shorter cut. They don't invest that
I
much
think
of.
they're also just going with the larger trends. Rather, it's time to make a reset on fashion trends.
Exactly. So I hope they do realize the power that Indian textiles and weaves and crafts still wield in the global sphere, so that they all come back.
Amazing. On that note, I like to conclude and tell our audience that, all of you, all the friends of sustainability, today's episode was a very fascinating, very interesting, very insightful, rich on information podcast with Sharmi Adhikari. Like I mentioned, she's a genius, and now we are all intrigued to go back and read our history books or watch some cinema or connect with our grandparents and learn more of Indian heritage fashion, which definitely needs to stay for good, needs to be passed on, needs to be cherished. And together we can put up this big fight with fast fashion, because what fast fashion is giving us is no super looks, no real identity, no ethnic character. Instead, fast fashion is degrading the environment. There are landfills that are getting burned, toxic fumes coming out of it. So everything getting polluted and degrading. And a lot of hope with the sustainability movement has come in place. That's what makes me happy, and I'm smiling for that reason. So thank you, Sharmi. This was, like I mentioned, very, very insightful conversation.
Thank you, Sonali. I'm so glad that we spoke on this. This is a very, very pertinent issue, and our youngsters are our future.
Absolutely.
So they need to understand, they need to be more aware, and we can just handhold them. But the hand holding needs to come with the right kind of knowledge, and they should also open up to the beauty of what
Absolutely.
India has for them in terms of fashion. Why look westward?
Absolutely.
The West has always been inspired by us. So I think our youngsters now need to be inspired by what their country, what Bharat can offer them in terms of fashion. Because we are a gold mine.
Absolutely. We are a gold mine, and what a lovely message to the younger generations. Thank you. A pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.